Morning, boys and girls. Welcome to the kitchen of Patches. I am Baker Brown, and I'm going to introduce you to the world of baking. Now, I want you to go to your mother's kitchen and have a look what's in her fridge. The items that I want you to find are the following: egg, see if she's got some bacon, some vegetables. I found some mushrooms and an onion, cheese, butter, milk, and then I had to get some salt as well. Now let's have a look what we're going to do with these items. The great part, always in baking, is breaking this egg. Now some of you, I know, Ben, you're going to be one of them. You want to break it on your head. But that's not the baker's way. The best way to break an egg is take a knife, get the middle, and very gently, not too hard, crack it. You see how that's cracked? Then take your fingers and separate it. Look how it cracks open. And there you can see the yolk coming out and the egg white. Isn't that beautiful? And that comes from Mrs. Hen. Right, look how beautiful that is.
Look at that gorgeous egg white
Wow.
and yolk.
And if you feel it, now remember, this is why your hands must be washed and cleaned and dried properly. You'll feel it's very sticky and gluey, but it sticks together. Isn't that amazing? Right, now what do I do with this egg? Well, we're going to get a bowl, and because I want to show you again how to crack an egg, I'm going to show you again. We crack the shell, we hold our knife in the middle, and we crack. Oh, that was a nice one. Separate, and I want to show you, you can separate your egg by doing that in the shell. Some recipes ask you not to get the yolk into the white. So that's what Mommy will do if she's baking. All right, but in my recipe, I use the whole egg. And in it goes. Now I'm using 2 eggs here. And then let's look at the shell. Look how the shell looks inside. It's white and hard. But if I break it, it's actually quite fragile. Isn't God wonderful? How He has made the little home for the chick while the he or she chick is growing inside. That's amazing.
And keep those eggshells, boys and girls, because
Yes.
we're going to use them just now in an activity. So keep your eggshells and maybe wash them, and then we'll use them for an activity.
That's super. Right, now what I want to show you with the eggs is we can whisk. Whisk is a very good word to use in baking. Now you can use a whisk, that's why it's called a whisk. Or look at my interesting contraption here. It's a handmade whisk. And what we're going to do here to make it a little easier, if you don't have these items, go and get a fork. That works just as well. Now I want to show you how this gadget works. I'm going to pour my eggs in here, try and get it all in. There we go. And look how this gadget works. It's actually amazing. It's even got a measuring, and it's, if you go into the factories of where they make the milk, this is exactly how milk will be stirred. Just look at that. And those eggs are getting mixed together, the yolk and the egg white. Now, with our omelette, because that's what we're making, we're going to put an incy bit of milk. I would say it's about 1/4 of milk. The more eggs you got, a little bit more milk, but it's not much milk. Otherwise, you're going to make a scrambled egg, and that's not what we're wanting. We want an omelette, okay? And then in our omelette, to make it preserve it and taste, we take some salt. Now, in recipes, often you hear take a pinch of salt. Now, a pinch is where you take your thumb and your pointing finger, put your fingers together, and look there, that's a pinch. A pinch of salt will go in here just to give it some flavor and help with the cooking. And now we're going to have the fun part, is mix, 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 so that the milk and the egg and the salt can whiz together. And let me pour it in here.
Are you going to whisk it a bit?
And whisk it a bit that I can show you. Look at that. Yes, it can definitely be whisked as well. Here we go. And you just do it gently, like that with your finger. And it whisks very nicely. And if you don't have that at home, then just take a fork. Okay, and then you just do that. And that whisks superbly. Just to get it all nice and frothy. Okay, now what we're going to do is...
That milk comes from the cow.
Moo. Right. And what we're going to do next, because we can't eat raw bacon, that's really not good. Where did we say bacon comes from? Yeah, Mr. Pig. Isn't he gorgeous? Shame, he gave us the bacon. Okay, this is the shoulder bacon. So that would come from his shoulder. Usually that's one of the nicest pieces of bacon because it doesn't have much fat. Now with bacon, when we fry it, we don't need to add anything because it's got so much of its own oil. Oh, and you know what? Bacon has got the most nicest way of smelling. Oh, you just want to eat it. So what we're going to do here is come to our stove. And here on my stove. Now this is where you're going to need Mom's help because the stove is very, very dangerous and we don't want to call firefighter Fred to come and put out a fire.
Okay.